Good people, welcome back to Shenanigans with Mr. Jones. I am Mr. Jones, and in this one, we're doing tri tip. Not just any kind of tri tip, but barbecue tri tip. What do I mean by that? I'm talking in between 300 and 400 essentially is my barbecue range. So we're not smoking it, we're not going low and slow, we're pretty much roasting it or barbecuing it. Reason it's not being roasted, because if you roast something, that's really in the oven. We're not roasting, we're barbecuing on the old silverback. So, without further ado, because you cheated, of course you know we're doing tri-tip, move you in, that you see the old try, get it on the grill, and then that's pretty much it. Bring you back when it's time to get her off. All right, good people. Like I said, we're doing tri-tip today on the silverback, the Grilla Grills silverback. So, I'm gonna get this tri-tip on, and we'll talk about it. Alright, good people, like I said, we're doing tri-tip today on the silverback NSB, whatever you want to call it. And today we're cooking at 325 degrees. That's right, 325 barbecue, in between 300 400 barbecue range. So real simple, this is going to be just a straightforward simple tri-tip video. There are many different ways you can do tri-tip. You can do the old tried and true, low and slow. Cook it at 225 till it reaches your desired internal temperature. Somewhere between 125 and 160. I wouldn't really go up to 160, but hey, that's your thing, that's your thing. Or you can do the old reverse sear, which is very similar to the tried and true method, low and slow. You cook it at essentially low and slow, 225, and then about 20 degrees away from your desired internal temperature, you crank that grill up, whatever grill you have, to the highest setting that you can pretty much get it to. You throw that meat on there and you sear it off up to the desired internal temperature that you're looking for. Okay? The third way, which is what I'm doing today, is barbecuing it or roasting it, however you want to slice it. But essentially, any temperature that is not at a smoking temperature, which most smoking temperatures is anything from 0 to 75, okay? Those are pretty much your smoking temperatures. Essentially 225 or 180 as far as what I can do, 180 to 275 or 285, however you want to slice it. It's pretty much the smoke zone. Anytime you get out of that smoke zone, you're not really going to get much smoke. It's exactly why you didn't see that smoke tube in there. You know, guys, I use that smoke tube for a lot of different things. Even if I'm cooking a little hotter, sometimes, a lot of times I'll still use it just because I want to see if it's going to get any smoke flavor on it. I'm not really looking for smoke flavor today. I'm going to see how this tri-tip is going to come out when I barbecue it. 325, came out here, fired up this silverback, let it come up to temp because I wanted to give it an opportunity to get nice and hot so I can come out and scrub my grill grates off, get them nice and clean for the tri-tip. In that time, went in there, got the tri-tip out of the zip top bag, seasoned it down, let it hang out, sweat out that rub a little bit. Today, real simple rub, salt, pepper, garlic, and just a misting of paprika over the top. I did use Worcestershire sauce as a binder. Just like I said, this tri-tip is a simple tri-tip, okay? Nothing special. We didn't marinate it. I didn't even jacquard it. I didn't do anything like that. Took it straight out of the freezer, thawed it out, rubbed it down, and it's on the grill. Real simple, real straightforward. So like I said, 325 with this tri-tip. I'll bring you back, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes just to see where we're at, because we don't want to get anywhere over 135. I'm probably going to take it off around 132 just because I don't want it to dry out, because like I said, as you can see, we're only doing one tri-tip. Usually when you see me do these tri-tip, I'm doing 2. Sometimes I'll do 3, but essentially this is just a single one. So like I said, we're going to take this one off when it's about that on the more rare side of medium rare or medium. So but we'll see how it comes out. So guys, let the silverback do its thing. Let it get this tri-tip on up to 130 degrees or so, and I'll see you then. But like I said, we'll bring it back in about 30 minutes. Almost forgot to mention, I am running hickory in the silverback today. Not like that's really a big deal because like I said, we're barbecue. But just for reference sake, we are running hickory on the silverback, so it should be should have, if anything, it'll have a mild smoky flavor, roasted barbecue taste to it. But I'm not really expecting too much smoke flavor coming from the Tri Tip or from the Silverback today, because like I said, we're cooking at barbecue temperatures. Okay, good people. Current time is 1740. Put this Tri Tip on the Silverback pretty much right at 1700. It's been 40 minutes. The current internal temperature probe for that Tri Tip is showing 145. We're gonna check it out and see if we need to do anything. Looking at 130 right here. Check another spot. Looking at 145 right there. Oh, hit 150. 145. And 136 down in this. Okay, good people. So as you can see, Tri Tip, we just checked the temp. It's clearly up over 135, which is what I was shooting for. I was not expecting this to go as quickly as it did. Oh well, this Tri Tip will be gone by tomorrow, so I'm really not too worried about it, because right after this, we're doing some ribs. Let this Tri Tip take a good long rest. It's been about 15 to 20 minutes now. Yeah, I did decide to just wrap it in some foil, let it cool down. I'm inside the foil. Not sure if you guys can really tell, but the grain of this meat, of this Tri Tip, is running about like so. You may or may not be able to see it as I try to stretch the meat out. You can kind of see the strands stretch themselves out a little bit. But that's the way that the grain is running on this one. So, and it looks pretty uniform. Down in this area, you're still running this way. So first thing that we're gonna do, you guys know I'm not the best cutter, but just gonna come through here, give it a nice clean slice right down the middle. Oh yeah, look at that Tri Tip. Look at that Tri Tip. Don't want to focus. Help it out. Look at that Tri Tip. Look at that Tri Tip. This one I thought I'd overshot the temp. We still got good pinkness throughout. Looks a little rare, but it should still be fine. Like I said, final temp at 126. When it was on the smoker, we were seeing temps up at 140, 135, between 135 and 145. So I know it's done. She's gonna take this guy here, set him off to the side. Oh yeah, look at that. Very simple, very delicious Tri Tip. Got a nice layer of fat there. I didn't do any trimming on this, by the way, guys. Pretty much, like I said, took it out of the zip top bag. When I put it in there, I didn't do any trimming. And just so you guys can see that grain, you can see that grain running kind of vertically, top to bottom, on this Tri Tip. But like I said, I didn't do any trimming on this. So without any further ado, it's time to cut this thing open. So guys, looking down here at this Tri Tip, it looks very, very juicy. As you guys can see, it is still steaming. As you may or may not be able to see that, but it's still steaming quite a bit, and it's definitely still juicy. Definitely still juicy. You guys can see that. Nice cooked Tri Tip. I would say that's probably straight medium. I know you guys, it looks like there's a little bit of blood coming through there, but it's just medium Tri Tip. Even hot pink all the way through. You guys can see that as I kind of move it back and forth, how shiny it is. Definitely still juicy. And I can't take it anymore, guys. So it's time to give this thing a little taste. Get a little, first thing we'll get a little cut. And we'll get another one too, just in case we need to get secondary taste. And one more. You know, I just cut the whole thing. Alright. Alright, people, like I said, it's time for that taste. I'm gonna take a piece right out of the center here. And give this guy good old taste. Hopefully you guys can see that. I don't know if it's focusing or not, but bottoms up. All right. Wow. Okay. So, first bite, first impressions. It's a little chewy, but that's kind of what you can kind of expect when you cook. Not a big piece of meat, but a fairly decent sized piece of meat rather quickly. You can kind of come and expect that. Like I said, it was a little chewy, but I'll tell you what, it's juicy. It's still tender. With it being chewy, it's still pretty tender. It's not the most tender tri-tip that I've had thus far. I've had even that Worcestershire tri-tip was a little bit more tender than this. That could have been because I jacquarded it with just a handy little fork like this one, or just could have been just because of that that Worcestershire sauce getting in there and really breaking down the meat over time over those 2 days. But let me give you one more. Let's go for an end piece this time. As you see there, still plenty juicy. Give it a shot. Alright guys, I had to give that one more shot. When it comes to taste of the tri-tip, initially you get a nice punch of salt and pepper. Behind that you get a little bit of that garlic. You don't really taste too much paprika. Using that paprika was more of an aesthetic thing, just to kind of balance out the rub. I didn't want it to be too salty and too hot, but I wanted that paprika in there, of course, to give it a little bit of color, because I like a little punch in my rub. I usually use that paprika, but this time I decided to just missed it. I can kind of feel that paprika working on my tongue now. It's very mild though. I can stand pretty much a good amount of heat when it comes to food, but I can feel it working on the back end of my tongue now. But it's really mild, so I like this combination. But like I said, salt, pepper, garlic, paprika, very simple rub. Just to give a real quick recap, because it's going on 18:30. It's dinner time in my household. So just a quick recap. Got a tri-tip from the freezer, took it out, thawed out. Took it from that same zip top bag that it was in the deep freezer in. Took it out, hit it with a little Worcestershire sauce as a binder, but then hit that with some real simple AP, salt, pepper, garlic, and a mist of paprika over the top. From there, straight to the silverback 325 or hickory pellets for about 40 minutes, give or take. And in 40 minutes, this tri-tip was completely done, all the way up to about 145 in some spots, temping at about 140, 138 in other spots. But main average, it was right at 140 and a little bit above as the average for this tri-tip. 40 minutes at 325 on a silverback. It's not as tender as I would like it to be, but it's still pretty doggone good, and it's really tasty. And that's what's really got me excited about this. Is it's so tasty. You know, it's not super overpowering with the Worcestershire. It's not super tangy and savory with like something like Italian dressing, but it's balanced. It tastes like a steak, but it's that tri-tip steak taste. If you've never had tri-tip, you got to give it a shot, because it tastes like no other steak out there. So with all that being said, really simple, really straightforward tri-tip video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See you guys in the next one. Time to eat.